Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks again for tuning in tonight. Welcome to Tales from the Pits. This is a podcast where we're going to talk about different stories within the casino industry. Tonight, we're going to feature Michelle, and here are your hosts, Jay, John, Mike, and Danielle.
Well, hello. Welcome, everybody, to the Tales from the Casino Pit podcast. My name is Jay. My favorite co-host today is
Michelle. Hello, everyone. Nice to be here.
Well, how are things going with you? How's the week been?
Good. So I'm no longer a homeowner, which is pretty exciting. We sold our house, so they took possession last week. And I hope that my life is pretty boring for a while. It's been very eventful for the last 2.5 months. So now I'm looking for it to just settle down for a little bit.
Well, hey, congratulations for being homeless, I guess. Is that? It's kind of weird to say it that way, but yeah, awesome.
We flipped. We were in an apartment, and so we decided to rent just to make sure we like the apartment style before we buy anything. So we're renting. I've actually haven't rented since I rented for 3 months when I was 19 years old, and that's it. So yeah.
Well, sweet. Okay, well, I'm glad that everything has been going well. Like, I'm glad that the life change, the adapting to some new environment is. I don't know. I think it's going smoothly. You haven't been crying.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Yep.
Well, that's cool. All right, so thanks everybody. This is the finale. It has happened to May, and we are streaming on. What are we streaming on today? We're streaming on Facebook. So hello everybody in Facebook. We're streaming on the Casino Industry Canada group. Hello everybody there, and of course the Casino Dealer J YouTube channel. And just a quick overlay that I want to show. We've hit 400 subscribers. Woo!
Nice.
Yeah, thanks everyone. 401 actually when I last checked. But it goes up and down depending on how the show is. So it fluctuates a lot.
Depending on how interesting it is each week.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what is this guy talking about this week? Anyways. Yeah, no, it was really cool to kind of break that. I mean, I don't know. This is it's a small step, but I really appreciate all the support. I mean, that's a lot of people that listen to us. Normally there's maybe like 3 people that listen to us at work, but now that we have our own platform here, it's been really fun, and it's really been it's entertaining. The people that we get on, and I really appreciate like all the people that provide the input, and they give us nice stories, and yeah, especially our guests coming up here as well. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. We will be streaming, for those of you listening, on Spotify and on iTunes. So we say this is a finale, but we still have a few episodes going on. We're not going to be doing this every Wednesday. We're taking a little break here, and we'll have a couple specials because we do have some guests that still want to jump on, and we just haven't been able to schedule them properly. So yeah, this will be really, really cool. Okay. You ready to go, Mish?
I am ready.
Sweet. Okay, so our first guest tonight, he was someone that I met actually at the Palace Casino. Man, it's been like 13 years ago. So really cool cat. This guy has, we've kind of gone through a few things. We've been on and off. I've seen him every now and then, but this guy's journey has been pretty incredible. He's worn a lot of hats in the industry. So let's bring him on. Like, please welcome Rheymar.
Guys.
Hey, welcome.
Thanks for having me on. Not nervous at all.
No,
I feel underdressed. With
exactly.
guest,
Yeah.
Some of us have been recalled to work, as you can tell. So, no more Netflix and sweatpants for me, unfortunately. So, yeah.
Huh. Well, maybe you'll have a work from home type of thing where you can wear your sweatpants and watch some Netflix while you're there. So
One day when I grow up.
Yeah.
One day when I grow up.
Michelle, you want to start?
Oh, no.
Sure. So you and Jay know each other a lot more, obviously. So I guess, I've heard you had a few different hats in the casino industry. So could you just talk a little bit about kind of your experience and the different roles that you've kind of played?
Haven't been on the other side of an interview for a while, but what hat would you want to know about?
How did you start?
Just like about like how did it start and like how did the progression go?
Okay. I'm just looking at a video of myself, it looks like here. 2010, I moved to Edmonton and I got a job at Palace Casino. I was the junior accountant, and then I did a bit of payroll. The payroll manager left and was helping out in payroll. And then they filled those positions and they kind of just gave me a role in the finance department, and they called it a special projects analyst, which was everything under the sun at one point, dealing with high limit and some of their expenses, and then, salary accruals, and basically give the numbers to the Asian guy, I guess, So that was my role. And I got a desk, and Jay Lee hooked me up with a name badge. So it felt pretty special for sure. That was that was 11 years ago now. 11 years, Jay Lee?
Yeah, it's been. I really thought you started before that, but no, that sounds pretty close to.
Yeah, you were doing HR at that time.
I was HR, and it was really cool because I got to go. I got to go from Baccarat to Palace, and and then we met, and then you're like, I don't want to say this in a bad way, but it's like, well, this is the guy that I could talk to in the office because everybody else is just like too busy, and I'm like, oh man, look, yo, Rheymar, how's it going? Oh, yeah, man, I'm just temping here, and cool. I'm like, oh wow, that's amazing. So then, we got to hang out a couple times. We I don't know. It was pretty fun, man. I really
a couple of times from what I recall. But maybe that's for the non-YouTube version. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like whenever you talk about being in HR, you're like, oh yeah, I was in HR at one point. That's right, I was in HR. Yeah.
They introduced him to me as like the HR manager. I'm like, oh, I'm so nervous. And he was like, hey man, how's it going? I was like, I love this place.
I was not.
When Jake told me about you, I was actually excited because a lot of the guests that we got on here worked on the gaming floor, right? Like,
oh yeah,
predominantly they worked on the gaming floor, and I did back in the day, like late '90s, early 2000s. But I went to school, like I'm an accountant. I work in business. I work in office. So I was like, hey, someone back office. I'm like, this is awesome. He's like, well, he also worked in food and beverage. I'm like, I don't care. He worked in the office. That's cool.
Behind the scenes, as they say. Behind the scenes.
Well, it's cool to kind of talk about all the different jobs that there are in the casino, right? It's not all gaming floor.
So many. After 11 years, I almost have had enough hats to be right up there with Jay Lee. So
yeah, which is a feat in and of itself. Yeah, no kidding.
Definitely. Yeah, so I guess continuing on, after I worked in finance, I left for a little bit. There was a nightclub that opened up across from Palace, and I got hired there. And of course, being young and foolish and naive, I was like, to the nightclub. And so that was a bit of a blur after 4 years. And I came back and I was like, I need some structure in my life, and I need to get back into it. So yeah, I joined, where was I? Northlands Casino. K-Days and everything under the sun over there. I started as a bar manager, worked as an event manager. The never-ending hats. How I left was their regional food and beverage manager and food and beverage director kind of found other opportunities, and it was kind of just like, here you go, and here you go, and here's your phone and laptop, and away you go. So
that sounds really similar to Jay Lee's food and beverage story. You guys have like the same story.
Sink or swim, trial by fire, and no questions asked. So I was put through the ringer. No professional training. No, we did what we could. Obviously, that facility is a larger operation than we were used to. There was one of the facilities was 750,000 square feet, 1.2 million square feet, 50,000 square feet of licensed alcohol space, 24 different private venues all operating at the same time, plus a racetrack and a casino, and the rec hall and the expo center. So quite a big operation, and it was all hands on deck for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah,
No better way to learn, right? Just get in there and figure it out.
Yeah, find the life jacket after. For sure. So that was the F&B portion. I, of course, got a job at Rogers Place for the grand opening. I was on the strategic transition team to kind of like move everything happening at Rogers Place for the grand opening 2016. And after a year of getting gray hairs, I was recruited over at Gateway again. So 10-year full cycle. They had opened up Baccarat as Grand Villa in the arena, and they had opened up Starlight, previously Palace, over at West Edmonton Mall. So I undertook those two projects. And that was another 4-year blur, of course. And pre-pandemic, I guess, it's probably been, I don't know, probably close to my 4th year and about 85-hour weeks, where then pandemic hit, and I was like, well, thank you. I can breathe a little bit. And, I was like, I had been working so much that during the pandemic, there was a show that I had heard, and it was super popular, but it was popular like in 2010. It was called Lost. And I just started watching it, but it was 2020. So I was 10 years behind because I had been working so much. And it was, to be honest, it was humbling to like really the next weekend not have the phone ring, not have to check emails, twiddle my thumbs and say, I really have to do nothing, other than find what's next on Netflix. So it was a humbling experience, and I got super bored after 6 months, and I took a job at Pure as a surveillance officer and helping out in AML, and did that for a couple months until I found the opportunity that their regional marketing manager is going away for mat leave. I applied, got it, and just finished week number 2. So yeah,
nice.
Here we are.
Congrats on the new role.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So yeah.
So how's it going so far? 2 weeks in, you got it all figured out?
Well, I will be back tomorrow, so there's a lot to learn, of course, with everything opening up. So.
Well, what do you like? What do you like about that facility, like where you're working? What do you like about the casino itself? Well, both of them actually, because they've both kind of gone through some renovations, and they're looking really, really nice. Look a lot better.
I hadn't been there before, the renovations, but it's a lot smaller than what I'm used to, so that is nice. Less steps for me. It's a change of pace. And just going from an organization that has 30 properties and runs from top down to an organization that has 4 properties and is very, very dialed in with their business, then you can tell the difference right away. Just from not so much culture, but you can tell just the overall vibe and the atmosphere by just being in the facility, right? And so.
Sure. Yeah, it's for me, like what I love about the properties is that I don't know, just it feels like they both got a nice facelift. So, like hanging out with Michelle in the, what was that place called? The Pearl? Yeah, when we were in the Pearl, I think that was pretty cool. Like I really liked the design, and it was just so much better than like the original stage and it being wide open. It was so different. It was just like another casino. And then going to Argyle, oh man, if it looked like that when I was working, oh my God, I probably still want to stay there. And it was, I don't know, I love it. It's great for me, like to see a casino like that in our city, with them not just like thinking about size or anything. It's just the design. I don't know. I was really impressed with that. So
I think I need to go to Argyle because I don't think I know what it looks like anymore.
yeah, it's so different. I mean, not like the pictures that we kind of showed, before. Like when Nikki Starr was on and they were showing pictures of like original
Yeah.
with like the running lights and the mirrors and stuff. I mean, it's just so.
It's one of the oldest, right? So
Yeah,
That would
it's.
be. Yeah.
But I love it. I love it now. I love the design and everything. It was fun. It was fun going there. We'll talk more about that later on.
yeah, you had many hats there too, because everywhere I went, they're like, they know Jay Lee for sure. I'm like, oh yeah, I known him for a couple of years. I'm like, a couple of years.
It's like, yeah, a lot of them are like, thank God that guy's not there anymore. So.
You are missed for sure.
Just a quick hello here from one of your fans, actually, Rheymar.
Oh man,
this guy here.
no way, no way. Milan, how you doing?
You guys have to film. You have to fill me in who that is. I don't know who that is.
For sure. Yeah. Do we just like wait for him to say something? Or?
No, that's his message. That was his message for you.
Yeah, for sure. Milan was the security boss over at Palace when I was there, and yeah, he's a good time for sure. Don't drink with Milan. That's my advice. That is my advice after 11 years working in the industry. Do not drink with Milan.
Actually, Milan is one of the most talented artists I've ever seen. So he's
ridiculous.
He is amazing. I really love his work, and yeah, I mean, he made tickets for us a long time ago when we were trying to like do like nightclub. We were trying to do just parties.
Party pit.
yeah, we were doing stuff like that. But Milan was always there, and he'd do the art for us. I don't know. It was really cool.
Yeah,
so
all the hats for sure.
Yeah, he's
Instagram famous now. He doesn't even need to work.
Exactly. Yeah. I love his shirts. I don't know. He's got a lot of really cool
I know, right?
Yeah. So I just wanted to show another quick picture here.
Oh my goodness, no.
Yeah, well, it's on the thumbnail, so we have. Can you let us know where? Well, we know it's from Starlight, but
yeah. So you asked me for a photo. I don't have any selfies and stuff. Just work photos is all I have, man. Yeah, that one on the left is actually Starlight Casino New West.
Nice.
BC, we were there for their opening, helped with the team, and obviously a number of their properties went through renovations as well prior to the launch. That was, I guess these are both pre-pandemic, but yeah. And then the one on the right, oh man, that was my suit fitting from Mr. Dave Pavlich and his company Concept for the Starlight Casino grand opening at West Edmonton Mall.
Really cool.
Yeah, which was full circle for me because I had worked there in a capacity from Palace, left, and then 10 years later came back. So yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, you're always a sharp dressed individual. I remember that.
Oh, that's the filter. That's the filter.
Yeah,
even normally,
even in the club.
Filter.
Yeah. So yeah, this nightclub story, I just remember it's just like Rheymar.
All right, it was great being on, you guys.
It's like who's the manager at Rheymar? I'm like, Rheymar. There's only one Rheymar in the city. It's like, do you have here's
after
like
a couple nights with you, I would have been the last one.
I don't want to bring it up, but I
do. Bring it up.
No, I do. I will bring it up. No, you're really fun. You're fun to hang out with. We actually went downtown, and I remember this. Like, this is how I remember the timeline because I was the human resources coordinator at Baccarat because I was working 2 jobs at the time. I was working at Baccarat, and that was my day job. And my night job was to make money for an engagement ring. So I was bartending and DJing at this place called Marquee. So Marquee Mansion was there downtown, and it was like right by the whatever the Best Buy, it used to be Future Shop back then.
Yep.
And yeah, they, I knew Erica because she's the general manager, but I knew her from like years and years ago. So she got us all like jobs and stuff. So I was kind of lucky because I ended up being her bartender during the week, and then her DJ, one of the DJs on the weekend, and that was enough to get me this ring. Anyways, they had this introductory. They wanted to do a commercial, so they started like asking around. It's just like, hey, we need some people to kind of come in, and I'm like, okay, I know a couple people. So yeah, I ended up bringing Rheymar into that, and yeah, I know Rheymar. You had like such a difficult time there because like they had to sit you around like 6 ladies. Basically, you were kind of doing like table service.
There was other guys there too.
Yeah, not in the clips though. I remember it was just like make sure that guy is there sitting, with the 6 ladies or whatever it was, and I was just like, wow, man, you got like the best shot. The really cool thing though was that you had way more exposure in this commercial than I did because I was just like it was the DJ on the end.
Yeah, thanks for telling me after the fact.
Yeah, I think that was so much fun. Yeah, Rheymar. I mean, like, I don't know. I'd show it if I had the commercial, but
I thought it was about to view up, so I was just.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, because but it's on YouTube, right? So like everyone can see it. Like if I show the link, you can see it, right?
It's not.
Yeah. Are you sure? Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, like I said, if I ever have that, I'll definitely.
Eat. Drinks. Dance. Reserve your place at the Marquee Mansion.
Yeah.
Michelle, you told me we were just going to a party. So, I don't know. That's the thing about even our industry as well, right? Like what you see is not what happened behind the scenes. So people don't know that, that 8-second clip. We were there for like an hour holding this glass.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I'm getting thirsty. And like, no, you're not allowed to drink what's in the cup. So just the whole time. It was like a never-ending gift that just wouldn't stop. And I just kept on looking at who was there with us, Jaylee?
It was you, me, and I think Heath was there.
Heath? Was it Heath or Paul?
I think it was no, I think it was Heath and Emery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was Heath and Emery.
Yeah,
I don't know if Paul was there.
I was looking at them like sweating because everybody's so close, lights, everything that works, not having anything to drink, and I just see Jaylee laughing in the background. I was just
because you're the only one in the clip. The other ladies that were there with you they're the bartenders, so like they're the staff, right? So. But I knew that.
I didn't.
You didn't. No.
I didn't. So.
That was the
really
best
funny.
surprise video reveal ever.
Yeah.
You're like, I think it's still on YouTube. This is like click.
I was relieved, and then I felt the sweat.
Nah, we were so young in that. I really, what? In all honesty, that was probably like it was fun for me.
I'm glad it was fun for one of us.
Yeah, I mean it was more work for you. I got to like play music because when it was my turn, like when they were doing the dance floor clip, I was just playing music the whole time. So then they were just setting everybody else up to dance, and then they were taking clips. And then you saw me at the very end, and I didn't know that I was actually going to be on. But when I was on the end, I was like, yeah, I was so happy.
The finisher.
It was so good because people like they'd see me at work and they're like, "You're on the billboard." I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, no, the billboard. You're on the billboard. I'm like, are you sure that's me? It's like, yeah. Are you DJing? I'm like, yeah, that's me then.
HR by day.
Yeah. This double life. It was like so much fun.
Little did they know.
I was really, it was really cool. I probably would have, like, I don't know how long it lasted after I left. I said I couldn't do it anymore because it was like Christmas and there was just a lot going on, and it just wasn't during the week, right? It's like I was doing 2 jobs for so long and I made enough money to get the ring. So I was like, okay, I don't think I can do this consistently anymore. So then I was like, okay, I'm kind of backing off. I do miss the DJing there because it was fun. I got to open for whoever Friday night people were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You had all the hookups.
it was cool. Yeah, because what happened after, and like, I'm just saying this quickly, but what happened after was like after I was done DJing, I got my own bar. So then, they put me on like a tub. So then I was just like, I was bartending and I was making that money too. So it was like double dipping. The money was incredible. And then like Erica's like, hey, you know what? I need you to do the bottle service. So then I'd have to like provide the bottles for bottle service for the girls. So then they would pick it up from me and then they'd have to tip me out. So I was just like, okay,
Wow.
this is hard, right?
Must have been a hell of a ring. Must have been a hell of a ring.
Oh, wow. It was nice. It was modest. But yeah, it was just, if it wasn't for that place, and I probably wouldn't have been able to get married. Get the ring, get married. That probably wouldn't have happened. Not on my human resources coordinator salary alone.
Yeah. I can only imagine. And that was definitely one of the moments I remember for sure. Getting comfortable, being uncomfortable, so.
Oh man. Rheymar, like your positions have put you kind of in the spotlight. You know what I mean? Like to be like a general manager of a nightclub, to be the food and beverage manager, there's a lot of customer service that's involved, right? And you have no choice but to actually be out there. Like when you worked at Hallie's, it was like the same thing, right? And I think you have the personality to be out and to talk. Because I remember like just even going to Hallie's, right? I mean, like you were so nice. Lindsay, my wife and I, like we were there, and it was just really cool to see you. And it was so long, like between times, like from the last time that I saw you. So it was really cool to just see you. And you're like, I mean, like you're older, but I mean, you're still like Rheymar, right?
A little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it was, yeah.
I wish I could have just been like, I had a commercial that night too, and then play it. But I got you back 10 years later. You're on candid camera.
No, you gotta wait. You gotta wait another 10 years here. So.
Yeah, no, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I, of course, like Michelle, I like being behind the scenes, behind the computer. But sometimes when you get called, you gotta switch hats. So definitely.
Yeah,
for sure.
Any questions, Michelle?
Well, I don't think we let anyone get away without answering like the
embarrassing story.
Yeah, embarrassing, funny, whatever, interesting casino story.
Man, I was mulling this over for a little bit, but the one that sticks out the most after the last 11 years is I had been invited to one of the board of directors calls, and I had done them before at Northlands and been part of the conversations at Rogers Place, but this was, at the C-level, executive level, and, all 30 properties across the country were participating. So the pressure was on. And so being a numbers guy, I just tried to understand all the numbers and did like a week worth of prep every day. And we would get there at like 9 in the morning and the call would be at 2. So a lot of time to prepare and a lot of time to go over details and, little specifics. And one thing we would do once it hit 12 o'clock is, hopefully he never watches this, but the boss would pace around the boardroom and we would all say our lines with our metrics and the analytics and so on and so forth, as if we're presenting to the board. So we would do that a dozen times at least, is what it felt like. And, we would have our coffee breakfast and our coffee lunch and our coffee snack. And I thought that I was prepared and we're good to go. So we dialed in and I think Ontario went and then BC went and then a couple other properties went. And then we were one of the last or second last. And then it started going around our table. So slots went, marketing went. But when it came to me, well, everything that I had been saying, I started off a little bit too fast, and I guess I drank too much coffee or something happened. But it started off like, "Hi, thanks for having me, everybody. The Q3 metrics are," and my voice just went. It was gone, and so everybody's just looking at me like. So I'm sitting there like leaning closer over the speakerphone, like coughing, trying to clear my throat. I'm like, "Oh, excuse me," and then I keep on going, and just nothing's coming out. I'm trying every which way. I'm like changing my posture, my position, and it's just. Yeah, the metrics show that, and the CEO pipes up and was like, "Rheymar, are you okay?" And then I mute the phone. I think I mute the phone to clear my throat. So I go and press the button. I'm like, "Oh shit, sorry guys." But I didn't press mute. I pressed the different button on the speakerphone, and I'm nervous right now, just even reminiscing about it. Jay Lee, why do you do this? And so yeah, I like struggled through it. The metrics were on point. Typically, the senior managers get corrected on one specific metric or analytic, and I wasn't, and I think they just felt bad for me at that point. Just let me continue through to wrap up the presentation for the month, and that
So
was.
did you guys practice less after that?
No, still the same amount, if not more. I was not included in the next week, but afterwards, yeah, we kept the same pace, and I just made sure I had water, had something else to eat other than just coffee. So definitely, that was a sweaty moment, that's for sure.
No kidding.
Humbling and sweaty, and I never wanted to do it again. And the only thing worse was Jay Lee pushing me and surprising me into that commercial.
Okay.
That is all for sure.
Well, thanks for sharing that. That was a good one.
No problem. Definitely.
Well, yeah, like I said, I'll probably. I don't want to say I'll see you at work because I don't really work there yet. But if I do work there, I'll see you. So I think it'll be cool.
Inside info?
I should really just go there and just have some lunch with you and figure out what I'm doing next with my casino life because, my hospital life, my projects are done for the summer. So
yeah,
onto a new adventure or additional adventure, we'll say. And I think it would be cool to see how you're doing over there. I'm pretty happy that you're there in Pure. So
it's the really cool. Hats of the small industry. Yeah, please come. Everybody misses you and talks about you. You are famous, so by all means, I'll get to know a famous person in the casino. That'll be cool. Good for the new guy.
Yeah. Okay. So, Rheymar, before we finish here, any shout outs? Anybody you'd like to say hi to? Some friends, family.
I saw Milan's name pop up, so that was super cool. Milan, blessings, red piano. Yes, definitely. We'll go find George and we'll meet at the red piano. Definitely. I don't know if you've had Heath on here, but I did see him as he's like an advisor now. But Heath, blessings. Nice. And yeah, it's good to see you guys too. So I'll be watching.
All right. Well, yeah, thank you so much for being on for our finale. I totally appreciate having you on. We love it when we have like our guests kind of come in. I know it can be nerve-wracking for everybody, right? But anybody that says yes, it's always like, that's like the first step, and it's just like, yeah, this is amazing, and you're part of this. You've been around since we started this, and Michelle and I are like super happy that you spent some time with us on this wonderful Wednesday, right? So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I do tune in, but yeah, thank you so much for the invite. I was like, me? What? Crazy. I'm like, I guess it has been 10 years, But thank you so much for the invite.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short. I mean, 10 years is a lot, and to do what you've done, and you've accomplished a lot, and I don't want to say you've reached the pinnacle because I know your potential and you're capable of, your career is not done yet. And that's the thing, right? So I don't know. It's really exciting to see like someone that when you first started, I was like, wow, this guy's pretty awesome. So, and to see like you accomplish what you've done so far and look where you are now. I mean, I think I don't know. I'm pretty proud and honored to know you as a friend. So
Blessings, JD. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
okay, well, once again, thank you so much for being on. Thanks for being on the podcast, and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, buddy.
You guys as well. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, talk
Thank
soon.
you, guys.
Hey,
Blessings.
Rheymar.
Bye.
Bye.
I like him.
Yeah, that was great. He was great.
Yeah, I he knew I was gonna put the commercial on. So.
He's shaking his head in the background.
He asked me for it. Once he asked me for the commercial. He's just like, hey, do you have that clip of when we were on the commercial? I'm like, let me see if I can find it. Of course I have it. So it's like, yeah, send it to you. So once I sent it, it was in the vault, and I already knew like I'd have it just ready to go. So
That's awesome.
So we're waiting for John right now, but our second guest has already arrived. Are you ready to go? Give us a wave if you're. Yeah, I see a sure.
Yeah,
quite
I think
sure.
she's
Okay.
ready. I don't think John's gonna make it. Just so you know.
Oh yeah.
He sent another message.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let's bring out our second guest of the evening. Let's just bring her out right now, and then we'll talk some more. Okay. Let's bring in Nicole.
Hi.
Hey, Nicole.
Hi. So good to see you.
Also good to see you
Yeah,
too.
good to see you too.
How are you guys doing?
Exciting. I'm super excited. Yeah, I love Wednesdays. It's been an amazing first half of the show. It's been an amazing week. That's all I'll say about it. How has your week been?
My week's been busy. It's always busy. Summer's busy. Yeah, so just lots of stuff. I've been busy at work, and then family's been visiting, which has been great. And I've been back at work, right, since July 1st, so I'm kind of tired, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, well, that's cool. So before we kind of talk about, work and everything else, you were on the first season with me. We did an episode of Talking Craps, and then you were on some live streams kind of in between seasons. So this is actually the first time that you've been on the podcast. So the first time you've been on Spotify and iTunes. So for the listeners that haven't seen you yet, could you give us a little bit of a background of your casino life, your story, your adventures in the industry?
All right. Well, my adventure started a long time ago, I like to say, when I was 17, back in 1997. So kind of around the same time as Jay. So we grew up together in the casino, right? And then I've kind of moved all over, but I've been in BC since 2004. And since then, I kind of worked my way up. I was a dealer, and then I was a supervisor. And then since 2007, I've been a pit manager here for Gateway Casinos. And I've done Langley, Burnaby, and now New Westminster. This is my home site. Yeah, pit manager, run the floor.
That's pretty cool. Which one is your favorite of the three that you just mentioned?
One of the ones I didn't mention there was Chinatown, the Mandarin Casino. That was my favorite.
That's nice.
It felt so isolated and far away from head office. So we just felt more relaxed. But it's really funny because the second in command of our company now was surveillance there at the time. So whenever I run into him now, it's pretty fun. I'm like, yay, buddy. Because we had a lot of good times. Like Danny McLean, a lot of people would know Gateway, but Danny McLean was one of the guys integral in building Gateway Casinos before it bought Palace, right? So Danny used to own the vending machines at the sites in Vancouver around here, and he used to come into the smoking room at that Chinatown casino and have a cigarette while he was filling the vending machines, and people would be like, who's that guy? Why is he allowed to come smoke in here? I'm like, he can do whatever he wants. You have a job because of him. They're like, what? He stocks the vending machine. I said, no, that's Danny McLean. Nobody knew. It was awesome. So it just had that vibe. So that was probably the best. It was a small casino. It was busy during the day, not at night. Not busy at all at night.
Yeah,
except for poker. Poker was really busy there. Yeah, it was fun.
Sorry, because I've never been to that casino. What kind of poker games did they have going on? Do you remember?
Oh, that was a long time ago. They shut down in 2004, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Or 2005. But their poker games, I think what was popular here was 1-2 and a lot of 3-6 games. Some of those bigger games came later, but it was already shut down by that point.
Really cool. Yeah.
They did have the double layout sick bow.
Yeah.
Rubber balls back in the day where there would be a track and like a craps table, and the track would go all the way, the balls would go all the way down the track, and they'd get to go around the wheel, and it was so much fun for the players. Yeah.
I really want to see a photo of that. I remember everyone talking about that, and it's like, this is so different than the one that we had at Palace. I'm like, is it still boring? I'm like, no, this is like amazing. It's a different version. I'm like, a different version of Sickbo? Wow, okay.
Yeah, it had inside and outside bets. So they had colored roulette chips.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That does sound a little bit more fun. So
Hectic. It was hectic is what I think it was. And it was always loud. You know, when they got 3 of a kind, they'd freak right out. It was awesome. A lot of fun.
That's so cool.
Gone are those days, though.
Yeah.
A lot of those interactive games are kind of gone. It's all moving to the electronic betting in the casinos now, which is okay. It's okay too, but kind of lost that hands-on vibe.
So before we go on with some questioning, just a couple comments here. Mr. Darrell says, "Relax, I am here."
Phew! I was getting worried until he put that comment up there.
He was a little late, I think.
We
That's
have
just coming now.
We have to send congrats to Daryl too, because like I just sold my house. Daryl also just sold his house. I noticed.
Oh,
So congrats to Daryl on that. That's a big deal.
yeah.
Yeah, super awesome.
I know lots of people that are moving and shaking homes right now.
It's that. It's just that kind of market right now.
Yeah. Good for you guys.
Hi, Selena.
Selena, I love Selena.
Hearts to you too. I'm so excited to have a Pygao Tiles project coming, and of course she's automatically invited because this is something really cool. There's a couple things, and I can't even divulge everything. We have a league starting because I already mentioned that, but there's some other things that we're going to start working on. The podcast is amazing. We're just going to take a little bit of break because it's hard to just get people on. Nicole, I was trying to get you on like a few times, and I know the schedules were kind of mixed, and it didn't really work out.
I get up at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, why?
I start at 7:30. Yeah.
You start at 7:30.
I started 7:30, but going back to work has really kicked my butt. So I went from not working for 15 months, and now I'm walking 100,000 steps a week. So I've lost 18, maybe more pounds. I don't know, in a month and a half. I'm just shedding the weight, and I can't stop. And I'm like, oh, okay, I need to eat, but it's still really busy. And still just walking, huffing it back and forth and back and forth. So I just feel really tired at the end of the day. Not like I ever did before. But I think everyone's going through that right now. So I'm not feeling I don't feel too hard on myself at the end of the day. I just do what I can when I can. Yeah. Right?
Yep. Absolutely. One more comment here. Darrell says, wishing for a hectic red dog.
So I was kind of the sick bowl one. I was kind of with Jay. I was like, yeah, I don't care what you do to that game. It's not going to be exciting. But, I can kind of get it with the balls and the whatever. Red dog, there's nothing you could say that would convince me that would become.
Unless they had a miniature live dog or something that moved across the table. Made it interactive, right? Or something. I don't know.
No.
Red dog was pretty lame.
Do you remember that rotation, Sickbo and Red Dog?
Sickbo, Red Dog.
Oh man!
I remember
the best one was when there was 2 dealers. Sickbo, Red Dog. At least at one point it went sickbo red dog, and at least you got 20-minute breaks. But
I'm sorry. I was like, yeah.
Daryl just said it's 20-minute breaks.
It's like,
What's a break?
Oh.
I don't know what a break is really anymore either. I'm feeling work is pretty hectic.
oh my
I
god.
miss the days of being a dealer. Those are good old days.
I just had a quick story about Sickbo Red Dog in that rotation. By far, that was the worst rotation in the world. It's the worst rotation I've ever worked. I would rather deal Caribbean, let it ride than deal that. I remember working one shift, and it was a day shift. So back then, it was 12 to 7, and it was Sickbo and Red Dog. It was the worst because they were both $1 limits too, right?
Mhm.
So I remember like leaving Red Dog, and there's this like one old lady, and I don't like she's a regular, and I remember because I remember like getting off the table. I'm like, hey, well, you have a new dealer. Hopefully things are better for you. And you dust off, and it's like you walk away. She's like, thank God. Every single time, like every second hour, you knew she was gonna say that after you left the table. So you're already like miserable. I sit on Sickbo, and it's either like so annoying where like one guy bets like big and small, or else it's like dead completely. And now you're just standing there, your legs are getting tired, and you're just looking at the Caribbean draw sign spin, and you try to count how many times it spins in your shift. And that's what you do. It's $1. It sucked. So the pit manager, right, comes to me and he's just like, I'm kind of short tonight. Did you want to work a double? And I'm like, oh yeah, please. I definitely want to work a double because I don't want to be on this stupid rotation, right? At least like I'll deal some blackjack and maybe it'll make my night. So it's like, great. You're on Sickbo Red Dog. So I did a double of that stupid rotation, and I swear I think that was the closest I ever was to like quitting because of that. And when that pit manager put me on the rotation, I could not forgive him or her.
I bet you never worked a double for him again.
Oh no, never. I was just like,
as a pit manager, what a ridiculous thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, what a can you work a double? Yes, I'll do you a favor and work a double. Okay, I'm gonna keep you on the same Sickbo Red Dog. Who does that? That's brutal.
Well,
I remember.
Go ahead.
I remember a Sickbo story too from the Palace. Back when it was underneath the stairwell, I was so bored one day, and I must have drank too much coffee or something. But I was like, "Hey, come play Sickbo." To every player that walked by, I'm like, I can teach you how to play. But then at some point, I started getting louder and louder as the day went on because nobody wanted to play. And I think it was Ellen who walked by, and she's like, "Hey, put it out. This isn't a carnival. You're a casino, goddammit." So then I just stopped being a carny worker and then just stood there.
Oh my god.
Hey, stop being a carny, not a carny.
Just for those of you that are watching live, I'm just gonna throw this photo up, and that was the actual table. So
That's a beauty. The carpet. I love the carpet.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's an amazing wheel. I wonder what happened to it.
Good question. I know that when I
you're
moved
giving me
here,
flashbacks.
well, when
Sorry.
I moved here one time, I brought a roulette wheel when I moved to BC because I was bringing the moving van. So they're like, "Hey, can you bring this, $5,000 roulette wheel?" That was the nice black single zero marble one that we got rid of. Yeah. I was like, "Can I play? No, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't. Oh no, because this was 2000 and when was I the training coordinator? 2008. I think a whole bunch of those Palace wheels that we all dealt on, they ended up in the training center, and I remember trying to like unload it, and it was like stupid idea because I was by myself. So like I didn't realize how heavy these things were because you're taking them out of the crate. Anyways, one of them fell out and just like knocked me in the shins. And I swear, I thought my shins were like busted because I went on the ground and I'm in this center by myself. So I'm like, oh my god! So I was just laying there, and I think I slept. I think I slept there like for a few hours, and then I got up at like in the middle of the night, and like I felt a little bit better, and then I just drove home. So I was
my
single
God,
at the
that
time,
would be
so
so bad, Jay.
yeah. Well, that was really dumb. But yeah, then I learned that yeah, I shouldn't
You don't
really.
pick up a roulette wheel by yourself.
No, it came out of the crates. Whoever packed it like didn't really do a good job. So, but when it fell out, I was like, oh my god,
Oh my god. Yeah.
oh my god.
Oh my
So,
god.
Error.
Yeah.
Error. Comes that table.
Yeah.
We should
There-
find out what happened to it.
Yeah, right? It's
Who
probably,
still works at the palace?
Probably gone.
I doubt it's at the palace anymore, but
Yeah.
oh boy. Daryl says, I love the punters that would bitch that you were stealing their money. I would say, if you believe that, why are you pissing me off?
Because gamblers are not logical. That's probably the main reason.
No. But if you open the Red Dog table, you got to pick the ball for the day.
Oh, yeah.
That was exciting. Out of the basket.
Oh, God.
You
Yeah.
remember all the little dogs?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, I think there was one red one actually, which was kind of, didn't make sense.
Kidding.
Obvious.
Okay, I think that's enough sick bone red dog. I feel like
Sorry,
we can
yeah.
move on.
Okay, we can
Yeah.
move on.
Thanks Thanks for the comment, Daryl. Daryl brings it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next.
So next, yes. Any questions, Michelle? Are you okay?
No, go ahead.
Okay, cool. You were also on TV in between seasons here. For the people that didn't get to listen to that, the people on the podcast, can you kind of give us a little rundown of what happened?
All right. So, simply put, my casino site is used for TV and movies quite often because it's a very big open expanse space. So, it was during COVID, it was booked out for Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, which is a TV show on NBC. And we didn't have any staff at the time. So the GM's like, well, they were asking for dealers. And so we all got hired, all of us management. There was, I think, 14 of us. And we went and we dealt blackjack all day, kind of fake blackjack, in the casino when we were background dealers. Yeah. So I did that.
Cool.
I was on TV. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I could also say I was the one that was picked, so I was on screen the longest. So I was, after I saw it on TV, I was like, hey, I should have got paid more. Because everyone else got paid the same and I had to actually act. People way in the back that were sitting playing Big Two by themselves. Because you couldn't see them. I was like, there's 16 hours over here. Paid the same. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I gave you a clip. I don't know if you could compress it or videoed it.
Let me see if I can find it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
it is a different element. Like, they don't care if it looks real or not. I was like, what about continuity of shots? Like, and they're like, don't that. Just go stand there. I was like, right, this isn't my job. And I was at first I was trying to help them because they're in my home. They're in my house. Like, we're in my pits, right? So I was trying, and I was like, no, I'm just going to stand here. And then I just started. I don't deal like that, but I didn't know how to act. Like, I'm not an actor, so it was different. It was different. It was fun.
I was just trying to see what you were dealing actually, because you're like looking in the
blackjack
background.
on a baccarat table.
Oh yeah,
blackjack on a baccarat table.
Yeah, so I was just trying to see if you actually had cards, because you were telling me that some tables had cards and some didn't.
Well, I think so. I think there was 14 dealers. They had maybe 10 shoes, and then we had to go searching for roulette balls, because that one was interesting, but they had a roulette wheel. And actually, when they did the on-screen bit with the spin, that was one of us. Somebody had to do the spin for the dealer, and then the dealer they had a hired actor who had a lines with it was Mary Steenenberg. I can't say her name. Everyone laughs at me, but so she had a line, and so somebody else had to spin the ball for her in the background, and so that you could still see the ball spinning, but it wasn't actually the actor who spun the ball.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then we set up we also had like our manager. She set up the technical side for the play. So when they were setting up the shots with the cameras and they were zooming in on cards, and they were like, we want it to be like, she gets blackjack. So we had to set up the cards so that they can run them back easy and deal it out every time. Because they did it maybe, I don't know, 20,000 times. I can't even remember. Right? That same sequence over and over and over. So for like, I was actually surprised it was as long as it was. I thought it was going to be way smaller when you got to the final cut, because the last movie I watched them make, I watched The Big Lebowski. What's his name? I'm blanking right now. But he filmed a movie. Yeah, they filmed El Dorado or whatever, that movie that didn't do very well. But they filmed in our site, and they used our lounge for like one of the scenes with the singer. And then they have a casino scene, but it was set in the 40s or 50s or whatever, early day casinos. So I was like geeking out by the props, because the guy had just like, I don't know what he did, but he fake paneled old wooden like slot machines and made them all wood. And then because he didn't have coin, it was just all sound activated. So when they hit action, there was this sound would come up, and it would sound like the old coins coming out of the slot machines. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And I got to watch them film it because we didn't close. Oh, wow. And so we were like, shh, quiet on
the set. So awesome.
But it was so cool. And then when I saw the clip in the movie, it was legit like 1.5 seconds. And I watched him do the same scene for, I don't know, 2 hours straight. It was insane. So I really didn't know what to expect when I saw it live on TV, but I was surprised. Got as much screen time as I did. Yeah. Got an agent after that too, because they're just like, well, maybe we'll need another dealer sometime along the road. And I'm like, sure.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. Really cool. Sorry, before we move on, let's bring in our other co-host here, Jonny Old Dude.
Jonny, coming, not coming, coming, not coming, coming.
He liked the sick bow stories. He wanted to talk about sick bow.
Yeah, he's like, oh, sick bow, I need to jump on here now. So.
Get in there.
Uh-oh. Probably some issues with connectivity. You want to try again, John? Are you there? Oh, too bad. Now I have to edit this. Jeez.
Yeah, he froze pretty good there.
I liked how his banner did say old man, so now maybe it's just old computer as well.
As old as... Oh, no, I'm not going to say it. Let's bring him on again. Let's see if this works.
See if it works.
Oh, old dude.
It might be 30 minutes. Is this on? Is this on? Is my Wi-Fi working? And then you'd be like, why do we ever invite him? He just ruins it for the rest of us. It's
because he makes us laugh.
It's just a distraction. Say, hey, Nicole, how's it going?
Hey, good. How are you?
Fashionably late, I guess, with shoddy Wi-Fi.
Shoddy Wi-Fi. Yeah. No, I was catching the group up to speed that I was talking about how it's on TV and the whole longevity of the show. But I was really surprised at how much screen time I got on TV. Even though I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but
did we see it?
Right. I can be anyone I want to be.
Exactly.
Okay.
Plus, they have surprisingly good crab legs.
I'm going to say yes.
Welcome back.
Looking good, Fred.
It was amazing.
There it is. I found it. There you go.
Mm,
Oh my god.
mommy's juice.
The quality was so. So we'll see how. Yeah, but yeah, I did watch that. It was really cool to see you on, and like I said, I was just trying to see what you were dealing actually, because it's like, oh, this is pretty awesome. So
I did. It was blackjack on a baccarat table,
Okay.
and I actually had chips and cards because I said, "Listen, I'm in view of the camera. You have to give me this at bare minimum." But the people behind me, they were dealing with like half a deck and like very little amount of cards. It was just for the action, so they were just bringing it back out and forth.
oh yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
I've dealt with people who are dealing with only half a deck. Quite often, someone said, "John, I think you're dealing with half a
you're funny.
Yeah.
deck."
Oh, John, you're cutting out,
It
buddy.
might be true.
26 cards.
Okay,
Mm.
John, join with your phone. I'm booting you right now.
Bye.
Daryl says, John, half a deck would be a step up for you.
I'm fighting words.
Exactly. Yeah. Daryl also says he did a couple of celebrity commercials at 300 pound, 300 US an hour, but none made it to air. So
Wow.
did they ask for their money back? Probably. It's
No,
like-
it's a union job. They just pay.
oh
They
well.
Yeah. I did not get paid that well. But overtime was good.
Nice. I mean, it's cool that you're getting paid to do something that you do normally, right? Like, I think that's pretty awesome. So
Yeah, and at that point it was almost a year into the pandemic. So I was like, yeah, I'll do some work. And because of COVID, they had COVID testing. So you went for COVID testing, and then when you went for uniform fitting, and you got paid 8 hours for all of that, and it took an hour and a half. So it was really easy. And so we're like, yeah, no problem. When we knew we were going to shoot, we could be there for 16 hours. But that didn't faze me that much either, because I've worked those shifts before. And I remember working on the shifts when you do split shifts. That's the worst. That's worse than working 16 straight, because once you're up and you're there, right? It's not that much harder. I have fallen asleep on a table before and gotten a kick from a supervisor on the chair before, but I was on a dead table. Just once.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bring my sleeping. Michelle, do you have a sleeping story? I'm not gonna tell mine. Mine's very embarrassing. So
I don't know that I have a good detailed one. I've fallen asleep. I think dealing and on break and late night poker, like literally waiting for a player to act. I've fallen asleep at the table overnight. Whoa! Oh, how long was I out?
The whole body shake, like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's happened. I was a baccarat. I fell asleep on a baccarat table. That was the worst. Because if you remember High Limit, it was 6 tables, right? And 3 were facing out towards a bar, and then 3 were facing the wall.
The wall,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
If
the
you're
worst.
if you were on like Bach 2, you couldn't watch the TV, right? Without like turning your head. So then you just have to look straight ahead. So nobody's really looking at you either when your table was dead. So like, yeah, you would just like fall asleep. But I just remember, I remember waking up once. I was just like you have to like face and stuff. Like that's how like out you were when you have to do that. It's like, yeah, that's not good. So
rules kind of.
yeah, it's like
Yeah, I hated that rotation. I didn't deal a lot of baccarat my whole career because I learned poker first, and there's always a shortage of poker dealers. So because I learned poker first, I hardly dealt baccarat. I hated dealing it because I never dealt it for any kind of steady length of time. So I was always like, I know the rules, but never had a never got it to be like learn how to ride a bike, right? Because I never dealt it for more than like
Mhm.
once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hated staring at that wall. That was the worst.
Sorry. Okay, so Nicole, Chris says, Nicole, do you need me to make you another juice?
No, I'm still I still got a 3/4 cup.
Okay. I mean,
I'll
you
have
put
it
it on.
now.
Yeah. He puts the comment on because he knows I have to post it. So
Yeah,
he knows
but I'm not
because he knows
checking
you're
my
not
phone.
reading it. So I'm posting it. So I don't know how that.
I came
Yep.
I came downstairs today, and hopefully, like, I'm right by the Wi-Fi, like the box, and I'm actually sitting on the floor because it's a disaster right now. My mom's come to town; she's been here for a week, so we did like cultists on the week before the weekend, and then a barbecue, and we're just kind of chilling. Me and Chris are using the basement as our bedroom, and gave her the master, so it's messy all around. But I got right beside the Wi-Fi, John. I got good Wi-Fi this time.
Crazy thing, if I use my iPad, it's perfect. But if I
Yeah.
use my laptop, it's just, I don't know, for some reason, doesn't work so great.
Yeah, it's like great right now. Like not even an issue at all for both of you, in fact.
I'm using my daughter's iPad. I was gonna take her headphones too, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna go that far. I'll just lock the door. But there's doors throughout my house, and it's an old build, so it's quiet. It's nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
So before we ask John about his sleeping story, Gerald has one, and he's saying, mine were laying around a pool and sitting at a formal dinner table in a tux. Falling asleep like that. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty classy. So
Formal dinner table.
Interesting.
John, when
Sorry,
have you
go
fallen asleep at work?
Oh, dude. I've been where, like on shifts where you partied all night and then go to work and like, if I go to sleep, I'll never wake up. So, I've gone there and I've just had a shower for about 10, 15 minutes and be like, oh my God, I got to go. And then you go straight to work. And then like, and the first ship I worked on, we used to sit down on blackjack. Even when it was a game, we just sat down and dealt. It was awesome. And so you'd be there and be like, oh, it's quiet now. It's a sea day. And I'd be quiet. I'd be like, I'll just put my head down. If someone's like tapping your head, like, excuse me. You like wake up, like you got your bed head. And when you first wake up, you're like, and you look around, you're like, what the hell? Where am I? And there's people there trying to play blackjack and the casino's full. And you're like, I don't even remember getting here. And then you're like, oh, okay. I'll just get the table open. So you open it up and then you're like, oh. Yeah, so that was quite embarrassing. And sadly, it wasn't even the only time I did it. I did it quite a few times.
Good.
Oh, bad. Okay, one quick story here from Chris. Chris says, I fell asleep mid-ship change once. I had 5 reds laid out to change for 1 red. I forgot to call, and the supervisor said really loudly beside me, "You sure you have that correct?"
That's hilarious.
We used to, when I worked back in the UK, if you worked a double shift, they used to give you an hour off in between. And it was supposed to be to go and eat and blah, blah, blah. But all of us used to be like, let's go to the nearest bar, drink as much as we can, and then just come back and deal. And then everyone was like, whatever, they don't care. And so if you got last break in the afternoon shift, you'd have like an hour and 20. So it's like, I could give you more. So we'd try and wangle it and try and get the last break if we knew we were doing overtime. And I remember coming back, me and my friends, we were on craps all day. And we came back and he was so drunk. He couldn't deal, physically couldn't deal. And he would allow anything. There was such a crazy casino. I loved it. And the boxman was like, Jason, just sit down, man. You can't deal. And it was a busy game too, right? So, and it was because we were in the corner, nobody cared. So he sat down and he was like, his mouth was open. And then the players, because we're all busy dealing and we're all laughing, he's just completely off it. All the players were like smoking. They're like, and I'm just trying to get the cigarettes in his mouth, and he like puts it off his head. I'd be like, do it again. That was funny. He's like, smoke faster. I'm just trying to fling him at him, and he's just trying to get him in his mouth, and he's like. He had no recollection. And the funny thing is, this casino, this is how cool it was. It was if it had a very small bonus like target to hit every day, and if you hit it, they'd open the bar right after work when we close up, and they say, okay, you can drink as much like draft beer as you want to. We basically woke Jason up and said, Jace, come on, we got to close the table. It's time to go to the bar. And he's like, oh, I'm ready to go. It was funny.
Oh my gosh. I got tears. That story gave me tears. That's good. The good old days.
John, isn't it you? Do you have another story about sleeping? Isn't there something interesting about the way you sleep?
Oh yes, if I drink too much, I sleep with my eyes open, like wide open.
Yeah.
I
thought that was you, but I wasn't positive.
Yeah, that first ship I worked on when I was it 21? Yeah, I was 21. So I drank lots, whatever, and we had a cabin party. And when it all wound down, my friend was in my bed. My girlfriend at the time was in her bed. So I was like, I'll just sleep on the floor. So I fell asleep on the floor. During the night, my friend got out of, there was another guy there, slept, whatever. They left and they walked out and went to their cabin. They left the cabins open. And somebody walked past and they saw me asleep on the floor with my eyes open, thought I was dead. So they phoned up like the bridge and said, oh my God, there's a dead body in cabin, blah, blah, blah. So they burst down, they burst into my cabin. And as they came in, the door swung open and it hit me in the head. And for some unknown reason, I jumped up and I was like, who's a clever effer with a board? And I stood there ready to fight somebody. And in front of me was the staff captain, the hotel manager, the casino manager, and the doctor. And I was stood there and I was like, oh. So we're like, why are you asleep on the floor? I was like, because he's in my bed. And he goes, why is he in your bed? I said, I have no idea. I was drunk last time. And the cabin was trashed. There was beers all over the place. We had plants someone had stolen from somewhere else in public area, brought it down. There was food we'd stolen. It was like, I was looking around. I was like, oh my God, it looks like we've been robbed. It was terrible. So anyway, so they turned around and they left and they would go, we'll talk about this later. So anyway, they went. When I went to work that night, I got a ship's written warning and a $25 fine, and it said for disobeying the staff captain's orders. And I was like, he never once told me I couldn't pretend to be dead. so I was like, what is this warning for? And then I was like, this is ridiculous. So I had to go and see him so he could give me this warning. And he was like, so I was like, why are you telling me this? Because you thought I was dead. He goes, oh, no, I told you a week or two ago, you drink too much, Mr. Holland, so you get a $25 fine. I was like, this is stupid. So yeah, I got a fine for impersonating a dead body. That was crazy.
That's insane.
But it was not the last time that people thought I was dead when I was my wife's used to it now, but so many times, yeah. I've lots of stories about people thinking I was dead. On a Greek beach, somebody thought I was dead. Alberta cabin, thought I was dead, got woken up by a chainsaw.
Oh yeah. My God.
Woken up in a body bag.
Exactly. Yeah. Some of that clear. No, I didn't have that one, but yeah.
Poor John. That must be frightening sometimes, though, I'm sure.
But the craziest thing is, right, on this one cabin, I shared what I used to sleep with my house and whatever. I eventually shared with this guy he'd had a motorbike accident, and it's actually a long and kind of funny story anyway. But anyway, so he had to take these pain medications all the time, right? And during the night, he'd take these pain medications and he just, during the night, his back would hurt, and he kind of like sit up in bed. So I used to come in drunk, and I'm like, oh, Martin's sleeping. And I'd see him sitting up, and I think he was, I used to think he was awake, and he completely asleep, but just sat bolt upright in bed with his eyes closed. It was so weird.
So you guys would freak each other out.
Yeah,
he would think you were dead. You would think he was awake.
Yeah, it was a very freak.
You guys were cabin mates in heaven.
Exactly. Yeah, we both had the drunk bunk.
That's so funny.
Oh man. All right, so You, Nicole, you sent me a photo. You
I
found
sent you a bunch.
yeah, you found some photos. Well, you sent me two. I don't know if that's a bunch, but
Well, to me, that's a bunch. I actually, because I had to look through like 400 to find those two, but I know there's more.
okay.
But
Can you give us a description of this photo that you've sent, and I'll put it up.
Blackjack tournaments.
Wow.
Yeah, so every year we host barbecues for the staff, and we pull out a blackjack table and do like an ongoing tournament all day. So like our staff come out during lunch breaks, or they they come before or after shift, and they can play 10 rounds of blackjack in a tournament for $2, and it goes to charity. And then we do like a 50-50. So we split it with charity and with whoever wins the most amount in their 10 rounds. So I've actually probably done it, I don't know, 6 years. But these were the two pictures that I found.
Okay.
Rocking it.
First off, I have a few questions here. What's that in the background?
It's
The
bouncy
bouncy
castle.
slide?
It's a bouncy castle, yeah.
And that's for the staff?
Yeah, so we do it in the parking lot, and it's a staff family barbecue.
Oh, family. Okay, I thought it was just
I do
adults. So.
Well, it is just adult. Well, there's adulty things, right? But we invite the staff to bring their kids. So if they're off shift, or if they want to bring them before they start shift, bring your kids and then your husband or whatever. It's for their family.
Mm.
Yeah, so we've done bouncy castles. We do silent auctions. The blackjack tournament's always a big hit. Some years we've had like local bands come and play for us. We've had DJs.
That's pretty cool.
We had the hamster ball one year. I did the hamster ball there. That's that kind of stuff. Just kind of fun things for the staff to, bring their kids to, or even when they're on break. Right?
That's awesome.
What's a hamster ball?
Hamburger. Yeah. And we do it it's a charity-based program. So we usually host it with New West Firefighters and their charitable organization they have, because we would like to keep everything really regionally and, give back to the community. I mean, as much as people think casinos are out there to cheat them, there's a lot of money going back to charity, and BCLC does a lot too. So it's kind of a nice thing to get staff together, and I don't mind organizing it. It's kind of fun. I like to hawk for presents. I go to, I call Capilano Suspension Bridge every year, and they give us tickets to just donate to this, to a silent auction, and then the staff can bid on it, that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do that at Starlight. I don't know. They've had different kind of barbecues in the past at Grand Villa, Burnaby, and Langley. They always did big things. They always have great Christmas parties.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just on the note, like with Vancouver casinos, I just remember Starlight had the nicest staff room I've ever seen. For me, I was like, holy smokes, they actually have vending machines with meals in them. What an idea. And there was like more than just one. There was like a line of them, and there was space. And I mean, they're like, yeah, no, it used to be better before. Like, those doors opened up, people could like smoke if they wanted to, and this was all broken off. And I was just like, yeah, this is an amazing like area. I loved it.
That's only the second break room. All right, I don't know where my camera is. Second break room that I've had that has windows. So that's really nice. And we're talking like big windows. So like half of the break room is mostly natural light coming in. And they have a big skylight in there too. So whoever was designing it really thought of the staff in mind to give them some of that natural light. And even in like our center area, there's stripped skylights in the main floor. So that big center area, we have our 24-hour pit and a lot of slot machines, and it gets all this nice natural light. And it's really nice to have that. Yeah. Other than those dingy, dark rooms. And then if you had the smoking rooms, like you have to go through the doors, and right. It was, yeah.
Do you remember in the palace when they had the smoking room and they glassed it all off? So it was just like it was like the zoo, and you're like, hey, look, this one's smoking. Look, this is had to go in. Oh look, he's doing it again. He's to a break now. Oh my god! You see him all, and he was so hot and sweaty in there. You could see him all just like, God, just sweating and perspiring, and like it was just, oh yeah.
So I remember working there when it was like smoking at those tables in the same room. Right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
when I started at Old Burnaby, that was in 2005. They just had like 2 offices down a hallway. And the first office on the right had, fridges and TVs and tables, and it was non-smoking. And then the next office on the right was the smoking room, but there was no door on it. So the smoke would just waft in and out of the hallway. And then there was the lockers around the corner. They didn't have a girls' and a male's locker room. They just had lockers on the wall, and then men's and women's bathrooms. It was just like this tiny little area, not given much for the staff. But now, they really opened it up. But we're still under protocols here. So we are still got 6 feet, and luckily we were able to accommodate for the amount of staff we have. And there's not too much overlap. But we had to put a blanket on the pool table. We're not allowed to use the pool table.
No, too bad.
No.
R.I.P.
Yeah. And we have a foosball table, a pool table, and we used to have massage chairs, but we don't have those anymore.
Wow. Yeah, you guys had it tough over there, but that's for sure.
Yeah. How can you work under those conditions?
Yeah. So
the Grand Villas, I think Starlight actually has the Grand Villas here beat our staff areas. I think ours at Starlight's a lot the nicest, because it's just a nice big open space with fridges and things, and it just seems inviting so that everyone is in a shared space, right?
Yeah, I did notice that. I mean, other than the doors that led to surveillance, because they had their own kind of pathways away and stuff. I totally got that. But no, John alluded to the fact that Palace Casino did have windows in the staff room that just separated the smoking and the non-smoking.
Yeah,
so
you could
that
watch
counts.
the smokers. That was it. Yeah, it was a window.
And it was in the mezzanine? Was that when it was in the mezzanine?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
remember that.
I remember.
When we the movie theater as our break room for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. What was really cool is when they did the training. So I did roulette training there, and it was in a theater. So you got to go down to the main area there where the screen was, and we were doing chip tricks. Man, we got in trouble for that because we were trying to you have the 3 chips and you're trying to throw the chip up and catch it in between the 2. So we were trying to throw it up as high as we could because it went so high. And then we got yelled at for doing that because it was we were trying to do roulette training, but it was just okay, whatever. But it was so much fun to just be there in the actual theater when it was closed down. I don't know.
Yeah.
That training room is actually where I learned that the at the time, they don't use them anymore. I think it was A&W. The way they used to wrap their burgers was in that kind of foil, not tin foil, but that foil. So I had a leftover burger in a bag, like a paper bag, and didn't really think about what was inside. Threw it in the microwave and went to the bathroom. And it didn't catch on fire, but there were sparks and a commotion ensued. Yeah.
Look, I could have a 30-minute conversation on the things that come out of a microwave in a break room.
So funny.
A crowd please.
Sparks is the worst the least of our problems. Some of those smells, they don't go away.
Oh, the crowd pleaser is always someone cooking fish. Do you know what I mean? You're who's cooking fish? Why are you bringing fish for yourself and microwaving it? And then it's there for days, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, Jay, is it pronounced hamoon or something? There's a specific fish. It's called stinky fish. I asked them. He told
Yeah.
me that's what it means. It just smells worse than every other fish ever.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh no, John. Sorry, you were asking Nicole what a hamster ball was.
Oh, someone was asking me? It's like a
Yeah.
big, it's like, think of like a big rubberized thing, and you go inside and you just run it. You run inside it. It's an inflatable ball. You'd have to find a picture.
Oh.
Let me see. I'm gonna Google it while I'm on the phone with you. Like a
Well-
human hamster ball.
Yeah. Well, John can't hold his excitement. He's just frozen in awe.
Like John's either sitting very still, which is very unlike him, or he's frozen again.
Okay. John, just jump back on again.
Oh, man.
While we wait, Daryl says, I did
Yeah.
my roulette training with Bev on Bourbon Street, second level. What?
That's where I did my roulette training, but it was with Rennell.
Where is that?
So I don't know. I don't remember. Was it Bourbon Street? So for me, it was second level near Cafe Europa. I don't think that's Bourbon Street though. I think it was above, like
Yeah.
the food court, like further down, like where Simon's is. Is that where Simon's is now?
I think so. No,
Where
Simon's.
almost like where it looks like there's apartments inside, but they aren't.
Yeah,
They're like
so that's like Europa Boulevard, right?
yeah, Europa Boulevard. Yeah, that's it. That's
Oh,
where
okay.
it was. But it was right. I don't remember it in detail, but you just go past Cafe Europa, like around the corner, just past it. And there was like a door there. That's where we would do
Oh.
trading.
Well, that's cool, but that's quite a walk, though, isn't it?
It was far. It was really far from the casino. I remember that pretty vividly. Yeah.
It's better to drive.
Yeah, probably would be faster.
Better to drive.
Depending on the parking situation. Not after not after Halloween. And then it's just don't even leave don't unpark.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was in that same training class roulette with Sheila in the movie theater. I remember
Oh,
we
the
used
movie
to
theater.
smoke in there too.
Yes. Yeah, you could.
Like we would walk 3 rows back from the roulette table and sit down on the benches like we were watching a movie, but we'd have a cigarette. And then go back to the
I totally miss that room, actually.
I like that room. It was like totally haphazard, but it was a massive. Like there was no shortage of space in
Yeah.
that room.
I did like
Yeah.
that.
It
Yeah.
was a nice big open space. Yeah.
Yeah.
There, I sent you a link so you can show John.
Yeah, so I forwarded it. Yeah, I forwarded it to the cast so John can be able to see that. I just remember him asking about it. I'm like, oh, yeah. So, Terrell. Sorry, John. John says got booted out again. I haven't been kicked out as many times as this since the late '80s.
That's hilarious. Poor John.
Poor John.
Daryl, you're bringing up this topic here. Jaylee is too young, but the Palace had a Christmas party where the Riot Squad showed up. Were you guys around for that one?
No.
Jay, I didn't start that much before you. I don't remember that. I bet you I had at most one more Christmas party than you did.
Maybe. Okay.
I don't even know if I was old enough to go to the first Christmas party when I worked there.
Really?
No, I was. Yeah, I would have been. I started in January of '97, and I turned 18 in March, so I must have. I don't remember that far back anymore, though.
Oh. See,
Yeah.
Daryl's saying Chateau Louis. So that must have been a while ago, because
Yeah.
I don't remember having any Christmas party there.
Yeah. I started the
That's
same year
definitely-
as Nicole, so I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have any.
No, you
exactly.
guys were. I think you were a year or two before me, right? Because I was '98.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, that's when
97.
I started dealing, though. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
worked there.
Right. My first. Oh, I don't want to say my first. Well, you young pups, yeah, sure. The first time I went, no, this might have been the second, but I went to the Christmas party, and then forgot who was on the committee, but they're like, "Hey, do you DJ?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do DJ." So you should really maybe DJ our party. I'm like, "Well, that's a great idea." I didn't know it was in this little tiny hall at the time. So I was like, okay, so what kind of equipment do I need to get? I go with my friend and we go to Axe Music. And I'm like, well, what kind of system do you want? I'm like, I want a really big system, right? And they're like, okay. So like I rented out a van and I got these massive, like these things you could fit in them. Like we could like actually open up the cabinet and lay in them. So I bought 2 of those. Like I rented them out. I think I spent like $300 on like equipment, and I think I was getting paid like $350. So we were really just trying to have like a loud system and just make it fun. So what happened was I kind of set everything up, and then we started the dance after everyone like ate. I blew out like I blew out all of the plugs in the whole hall. So like the power just turned down. It was pitch black, and then the one emergency light just was shining in the middle. So we were like, it was the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me while I was like DJing, because I was like, oh my god, I blew out all the plugs. The power is gone.
It was an Oswald Christmas party.
Yeah, I think
Hour
like,
ago.
it was like those speakers were like the death of me. And I remember testing them out in the house, and like the lights were kind of flickering, and I'm like, oh, it'll be fine, right? We went like full blast, blew everything out, and then like we ended up restarting everything, but I had like half of like this speaker going, and that was it. We ended up playing music, but I was already like, oh my god, I'm never gonna hear the end of this.
You probably never did.
No, I'm surprised nobody even brought that up. Like lately, I probably don't remember. But now that I'm bringing it up, like it's like, oh yeah, I remember when you did that. Yeah.
I remember that. We had some pretty crazy parties here in the West Coast. There was a good couple of years where we would get taxis home. But the story goes, somebody took like the taxi, like you would just give them the card and then they would bill corporate. So it was pretty cool. So anyone, like if we had to go to New West for the Christmas party, but we lived in Vancouver, we can take a cab home, and it was, save us the $40, and then they knew we wouldn't drink and drive. Well, I guess one year somebody decided to go all the way to Whistler. So they weren't allowed to have cabs anymore.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Just takes one. Just takes one.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, yeah, we used to have some pretty good ones because they would do the 3 sites. So they got pretty hectic because you'd have.
Yeah, isn't one casino party enough? You got to add more.
Yeah, we don't do the multi-casino sites anymore. Yeah, it got
That would
pretty
be a
crazy
banger.
for a bit.
Yeah, no doubt.
Did you guys do golf tournaments together, or is that a thing there?
It's not really a thing here, even though I'm surprised because there's lots of people. But around the around the barbecue time, we do a basketball tournament because there's a local basketball court like at the community hall. So they just rent out a couple of days and they get like 12 teams and they do 4-on-4 basketball. Yeah, that one was fun. We've never gotten into the golf.
You know what? I bet you they had golf tournaments before you went out there, and now they don't anymore, and there's a reason.
Maybe. It's just like how they're not allowed to have cards in the break room.
Oh yeah. Someone ruined that too. Yeah, of course.
I don't think we were ever allowed to go to the same golf course 2 years in a row here.
Yeah, we also aren't allowed to give away champagne to the staff.
There's so many things.
Yeah, I've witnessed a few things that have just But the barbecue was a good one because we held it there, right? So the people that are on shift can enjoy it too, and we'd usually they do 1 hour on and 15-minute breaks here. And so we were trying, like what I would try and do is schedule an extra body if I could. right, as an extra breaker. So they would follow the breaker, so everyone got a half an hour. So they would everyone would get at least 1 half an hour break throughout the day, so that they can go out and enjoy, and then they can always go before and after.
Oh,
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Nicole. I don't know what happened to your sound.
Cancel, Allie.
Oh.
Can you hear? I can hear.
I'm here. So.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know what I liked about? Are you there?
I can't see her now. Can you see her?
I know. I can't see her.
Okay.
What's going on with everybody's Wi-Fi? Oh my god! What kind of finale is this? Anyways, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
There. We got you.
Sorry, someone was trying to call my daughter.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Okay, yeah, that does happen. That happens. Let's just hit a couple comments here. John says, Daryl is so old, I might have been before you were all born. The Christmas party. Daryl says, boot John.
We did.
John says,
Can't hear you, Nicole. I don't know what's going on with your sound, but
yeah, maybe jump off and then jump
go.
back on. Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah, great. And let's bring him on.
Nicole, you look so different. You have a beard and no hair. and you look so different. How did you sound so different? Yeah, Nicole has changed a lot since she's aged a lot. In a matter of seconds, apparently.
So, yeah. So John asks Nicole here, after one Christmas party, I woke up on a bus in a depot that was all closed up at 2 a.m. in a different city. How did that happen?
So the casino I was in, I used to live in a place called Cardiff, and they used to have the Christmas party that was after work. So it was at it was at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was in the owner used to excuse me, used to rent a nightclub, and back then the nightclubs used to close at 2, so give them an hour to tidy up, and we'd go in. And because it was kind of like after hours, you couldn't buy drinks. They just gave you tickets, right? So they were like, okay, there's like 3 drink tickets. But the managers used to come in and they have honest to God, they'd have a huge bunch of them, and they just pass them out, drink lots. And there was a whole thing was like, okay, well, whatever you do, party as much as you want to, but make sure you go to work the next day if you're on the day shifts. And I was off the next day anyway, so we partied all the way through until 12 o'clock. I went into work and my friend spilled a drink on me, only to dry up. And they're like, John, you got to work. I was like, I haven't slept for a day and a half. I've been partying all night. They're like, don't worry about it. I said, I'm not sure if I can deal. They said, don't worry about that either. So we all went in, and anyway, I dealt craps. I dealt till I think it was 8 o'clock. And so after that, this was a Sunday. So the bars at the time then used to close at 10:30. So my friends are like, and I'm like, oh, I'm dying. I need to go home. I said, I'll just go for an hour. So we went, had a couple of drinks till 10:30. I get on the bus. I wake up and I fall asleep on the bus at the top, like a double decker. I fall asleep upstairs. I wake up and I'm in a different city, the depot, because I got on the Newport bus, and I literally live halfway between the two. And I wake up and all the lights are off, and I'm like, where am I? I'm like, oh man, I fell asleep on the bus. I was like, okay, so I had to break out of the bus, and I'm walking around this depot. There's nobody there, and I'm like, I don't know where I am. So I have to climb over this, it must have been a 10-foot fence. And then I'm walking around this city I don't even know. And I'm like, I don't know where I am. Where the hell am I? And eventually I flagged this taxi down. I said, okay, you need to take me back to Cardiff, which is about, 40 kilometers away, probably 20 kilometers. It wasn't very far. But anyway, so I get in it, and all I want to do is just sleep. And I'm like, okay, I get in the front seat. The taxi driver's there. And as I'm going back, the guy's like, so where have you been? I was like, oh, it's a long story. 2 days ago, I went out to a party, and now I just woke up in a bus depot. It's a hell of a story. So he's like, oh, where do you work? I was like, casinos. So the next 40 minutes, all he asked me about was casinos. In the end, I was like, just go in. I was just so mad because all I wanted to do was sleep. And yeah, it was terrible. I was just like, he was such a nice gentleman. He was like, just curious about casinos. I just wanted to sleep, and it was just like, oh man, it was terrible. And then when I go home, my mum was worried because she said I went out one night and I came home 2 days later, and literally she was like, "What the hell? Where have you been?" And yeah, so it was wild. And I got in my house and I was just like taking my clothes up, go to bed. I was like, "I'll talk to you tomorrow. Just let me sleep. I need sleep."
John, I think when you tell that story in the future, you need to add in for the younger folk that at that time there were no cell phones that you could like check your location. So like
Yes,
you wake
exactly,
up
yeah.
like in a bus depot, you're like, where the hell am I? You literally have no idea where you are. Like you're looking for landmarks and street signs, and like it's a whole different thing than waking up dark now, right? You're like, oh, this is where I am.
Oh, it was,
Like
yeah.
you find out pretty quick.
So many times.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to fall asleep on the bus for no more time. Sometimes I'd make the journey. It used to be like 30 minutes. And sometimes I'd wake up and I'd done it like 7 times, and I'm back in the same spot I started with. I was like, oh man, seriously? Nobody woke me up.
I've heard stories of people falling asleep on the SkyTrain and going for the loop.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just falling asleep and like,
man.
oh crap, I'm back in Surrey. Crap, I'm trying to go downtown.
One time I woke up on the bus and I was like miles away from my home. The driver, I was actually downstairs, and the driver woke me up. He goes, "Excuse me, where do you want to get up?" And I'm like, "I don't know where I am." And I look down and I've got 2 like the meat pies, that like pastries with like meat in it. I have 2 pies next to me in a bag. No one else is on the bus, and I'm like, when did I buy those? I'm like, I've been partying. I have no idea, but I'm like, I like that pies. I'll take them with me. So anyway, I take them and I sit right at the front of the bus. You know, I don't know if you've seen single deckers where they used to have a space where you can put like strollers and stuff like that. You know, like. So anyway, I get there and I sit right there and I'm like, oh man, I feel really ill. So I put my feet not on it like that sort of, but just against this thing, right? Because there's not much like leg room, right? So I put them up and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh man, I just want to go home. And anyway, so the next stop, this old gentleman comes on and he sits right behind me. And I'm like, all the space on the bus, and he's sitting right behind me. So I'm sitting there and he's like, put your feet down, don't be so disrespectful. And I'm like, I don't want to argue, you're old and I just want to go to bed. So I put my feet down and then I look and my pies are gone. I'm like, the son of a... he stole my pies. So I turned around to him. I'm like, really stern. I'm like, have you got my pies? like a crazy man. He goes, what are you talking about? I'm like, then I looked down and the pies had fallen through the gap in the seat and he stood on one. And then I looked at him and went, get your foot off my pie. And he's like, what the hell are you talking about? And then I'm like, pointing down, and then he's like, oh. So he pulls up the bag, and literally one pie is like that, and the other pie is like that, because he's squatted flat. And he just passes to me. I'm like, thank you. And I sat, and like the next stop was me to get off. So I walk off with my like squash pie and real pie, and then I walked home. So, yeah.
You got really angry over pies that you don't even remember buying.
No, I know. But
That
in all
someone
honesty,
could have given him because he might have looked like he was homeless on the bus.
exactly.
Oh my god!
I'm not gonna confirm or deny whether or not I ate both of them.
That's funny.
Oh.
So, sorry, just a quick hello here. Hi guys, didn't know a familiar was on tonight. That is from Jason.
Hi, Jason. What, Jay and I aren't familiar to you, and John?
Yeah, no doubt.
How soon they forget.
Yeah. What's going on? Jeez.
Yeah, Jason.
He's
I like to call him a Fommy. What's that? A father mother? Fommy?
Fommy?
Yeah. But he works for my dad occasionally. He delivers flowers quite a bit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering what was going on with him. So it's nice to see him on the channel every now and then.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. He works and he takes care of the house, and not every day, but obviously he's still he's married now. They eloped a couple of years ago. That was cute, and they got 2 kids. Yeah, he's doing pretty good.
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Jason saying sorry, being overly literal.
Yeah, I'm just twisting your balls, Jason.
Yeah.
It's all good.
No, I yeah, love
Tell
it when
Jason
you
I'm
join
with
us
my
here.
mom. No, sorry. Tell Jason I'm with my mom right now. So
Oh.
literal is true.
House husband is the official total. Okay.
Noted.
Yeah, thanks for joining our channel. I actually made Jason a blue wrench, which is like a moderator. So
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Actually,
That
I didn't know what
sounded
you
like a
meant when you said that.
Yeah,
A
I
blue
thought it was a
wrench?
dressing. I'm
Yeah.
like, ooh. Oh, blue wrench. I thought it was blue ranch, like the dressing. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
dressing.
blue ranch. What?
Sounded like a
you-
mix
What's that?
of blue cheese and ranch dressing.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not sure. I'm like, I'm old. I'm like, is this a new lingo for something? I made him a blue ranch. I'm like, oh,
I made a blue
okay.
wrench.
Is that
That's
where you're
good.
at in life, John? If you don't understand something, you must just be too old. Is that?
Yeah, that's what it is. Or it's food. If I don't
Or
get it,
think
it's
it's
food.
food. That's
I'm like, can I? Yeah, it's like my dog. I don't understand it. Can I eat it?
that's great.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
so in our episodes, we always want to do like a group question. So my question is, we've all just been talking about staff rooms and everything, but you grab food from all the places that you've worked and all the casinos. Which casino had the best? I don't want to say which had the best food, but what was the best thing that you've ordered from any casino? Like the best thing that you've ordered. So for me, I'll go first because it's pretty easy. The Young Chow fried rice at the Baccarat Casino was by far the best thing that you could order at the time. I think you guys weren't working at yeah, Nicole, you were west, but yeah, downtown before like the whole renovation and everything, that Young Chow fried rice was so good. And then some dude came in and just messed it up, added corn to it. I'm like, no, this isn't the same thing. Why are you messing up with this?
I'm pretty sure I went there before even it was owned by Palace. So I think if that restaurant was still there, I remember eating in the restaurant there one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, from what I remember. It was a long time ago. But yeah.
Okay, so
good fried rice.
Good fried rice?
Yeah, for me it's Kong Chow beef.
Okay,
That's my go-to meal right now. Kong Chow beef at Starlight.
At Starlight?
Yeah, with the hor fun noodle.
Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah.
They're the flat rice noodles. I just like saying hor fun. Really fun.
How about you, John? Do you know?
When I excuse me.
Remember, John? Just before you said John has worked in like how many casinos in your life? Like 25.
Yeah,
including
25,
ships
26.
or something like that.
Each ship
probably
is different.
close. Yeah, probably close to that.
Okay.
When I used to work in casinos in Britain, most of them at the time, they used to give you free food. Like they give you like a meal, like per shift, they cook you get one meal. Sometimes it's a buffet, sometimes it was specific food, whatever. But I worked one time in a casino in London, and there was only 3 casinos open at the time in all of London. At the time, there was like 27. And so they gave us this huge Christmas dinner, like turkey, roast beef, whatever. It was this massive cooked dinner. You could order whatever you wanted to. And every break, they brought out a full pitcher of beer. And it was like a night shift, whatever. So it was like an 8-hour shift. And yeah, that was the best meal I had. And we all took advantage. We all took advantage of the free unlimited alcohol. And by 3 o'clock in the morning, the casino closed at, I think it was 4. By 3 o'clock in the morning, I couldn't function anymore on roulette. And I told them, I said, can I go on blackjack? And they're like, no, you drunk. You shouldn't have got so much drink. And they stuck me on roulette, and I blew out, and I couldn't add up any of the bets. But the actual meal was amazing, and it was free. So that was probably the best meal I had at the casino.
Good.
So they give you a bunch of beer and then get mad at you for being drunk on the table? Is that how that works?
Yeah, because most of the other people were like sensible, and they're like, "Oh, I'll have one." Me and my friend were like, "We'll have lots every break." Because I mean, like it was like Christmas Day, we're away from home, and we got paid like I think it was like triple time or something. It was crazy. And but it was so busy. It was so busy.
Oh, man. How about you, Michelle?
Well, so I feel like this probably isn't the best thing that I had, but it's certainly the one that I enjoyed having and remember the most. Palace used to have a prime rib bunwich, and it was a really good, quick and easy thing to have. And and honorable mention to free late night food, because when you're young and poor, free food is always nice.
I'm not going to mention anybody that lived in a van at the time, so that took advantage of that late night food. Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. I totally forgot about late night food, but yeah, that was something new at the time, and it was just, I don't know. There are some places that really got it down, and then some places where you would play where it's just like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, some of
never
it
gonna
was
eat it.
good. Some of it was not good. Some of it was good. A lot of it was fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was definitely a wide range.
Just
Adrian, 3 a.m. rush. You'd always have those same regulars who they're like watching for the food, right? Because when it comes out, they don't want to wait in line, so they're freaking gone. You're like, oh, I guess the food's here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Adrian says just had to hang in there until the food came. It's so true.
Yeah.
I just remember people like once the lights kind of turned on in the heater at Century, there's people just standing there already because it's like, you know that if it's like chicken fingers and fries, just something like that, it's going to be fine and it's going to be good. So people were just like, no, I'm not going to like let you take this from me. And it was like a battle. Battle of wits.
Yeah.
Even
like non-poker players, right? They used to like hang out and be like,
yes, because slots,
we're
right?
We're poker players. Just come eat the
Put
late
me on
night
the
food.
list. Yeah. Oh my god. Put me on the list. I know it's so busy, but no, I promise I'll be playing after. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention one thing. So, like Nicole, at your casino, they did have shanks attached to it, which was really cool when I was there and I was training. But I just remember like going there and hanging out with them and having like a couple drinks. And after the first drink, I'm like, "Okay, guys, does anyone else want a drink?" And they're like, "No, that's too much for me." I was like, "What?" It was like the difference between like Alberta and like BC, because after one, it's like
no after work drinks here.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've done it maybe a few times, like a handful of times, not like a handful of times every month, right? Or every shift. I tell people we would pre-order liquor for across the street, and the 30 of us would go. They're like, "No way." I'm like, "Yeah, way." I think they still do that in Alberta. I was trying to.
Yeah, it's like, how many team pictures do you guys want today?
Yeah. It's not really a thing here. Yeah.
That surprised me, really.
I did, however, there was a few times when I worked in Chinatown, we used to go for they would say, we're going for karaoke and Chinese food. And we would go after hours there. And then you'd sometimes go to Chinese food and they serve you beer in a teapot.
Oh, that's
there's a few places in Vancouver that do that. So we would know those places, but that didn't happen very often.
Oh, wow.
I remember one time, just because I don't know why I just remember this. I remember one time a group of us from the casino, we were working on the ships, and I was on this daily ship in San Diego, and there was about 6 of us, and so we went to play, bowling, and so I'll do something cheap after work, and we're like, "Oh, okay." Well, the waitress came over. She said, "Would you like beer?" We're like, "Oh yeah." Like, "Oh, what would you like?" "Oh, there was like 6 of us." We're like, "Oh, 6 pitchers." She's like, "How many glasses?" We're like, "None." Just the picture. They're only small ones, like whatever. We're just drinking shit out of their bowling, and she was like, "What?" Because we were a casino, everybody's tipping lots, and we're like, "Just keep them coming." So we she just come over with pictures, you guys are crazy. All these drunk British guys playing bowling, and we were just creating chaos. We must have gone. Yeah,
Hilarious.
she ended up having to keep taking them back. Goes, you guys we're running out of pictures, so she had to keep taking them back. It was so crazy.
Oh my God.
It's awesome.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, look, oh my God, we've done a little bit of overtime here. We're at an hour and 54 minutes. So, Nicole, thanks for staying on for the rest of the show.
Yeah, it goes by so fast. I didn't notice I'm exhausted.
Yeah. It's crazy. So, any final shout outs? Anybody that you want to say hi to? We'll start with you, Nicole.
Well, I guess I have to say hi to Jason. How's it going, big brother? Glad you're watching.
Oh, that's your brother. Okay.
Yeah, it was Jason was talking there. Yeah. And then, my husband, he didn't come and give me another drink. He didn't ask again. So, oh, well, I guess I'm going to bed. And other than that, no, like, just keep it cool, guys. Have fun.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Mr. Wi-Fi.
I'd like to shout out the show for giving me shitty Wi-Fi. It's always appreciated every day that I use it. Completely unremarkable. Apart from that, yeah, thanks a lot, guys. It's just fun. I wasn't on it as much as I would like to have been, but it was great to see you, Nicole, and Michelle and Jay. It's always great to talk to you.
So cool. And Michelle?
Shout out to all the regulars, season finale. It's definitely nice to see some familiar faces like Daryl's here, comes to mind for sure. I think I see him every episode, which is awesome. And just everyone else that supports, tonight we have Adrian and Jason and Milan, and am I missing anyone that was here tonight? But people,
Daryl.
People who come back, Daryl and Daryl.
And that guy.
and Selena. You see those faces, and it's fun. It's fun to see the faces come back. So shout out to all of the regulars.
Yeah. This is a nice season finale. Like I said at the start of the show, we still have some people that want to be on, so we're going to do some specials in the month before we start our third season. There's a lot of things that I want to kind of get set up and get some guests on, and I just want to thank everybody, Nicole, you included, just thanks for being a part of this and agreeing to be on, like Rheymar as well. I know it's tough to just be in front of a camera and do this. It's not natural. Even Michelle, you kind of said that as well, so I totally get it. So I mean, just the fact that you've been on and you're sharing your stories, I mean, it's wonders for the industry, and I totally appreciate hearing that. And thank you to Michelle, to John, and Nicole, and then of course the rest of the cast that couldn't make it today. So,
thank you for having me on.
Yeah, it's awesome.
To my stories.
Yeah. You know what? And I was trying to get you on earlier this season, but it was cool to have you on the first season. It was cool to have you on between, and now I'm happy that you've been able to kind of come on to the podcast itself. So.
Yeah, and I'll find you some more pictures.
Yay!
I have to peruse through the public drive at work. There's probably 15,000 photos, so they're all sorted by year. But I mean, I've been at Starlight since 2007, so it was a tackle. I was like, I know I'm in those ones. Yeah. Oh yeah,
don't worry. The next season, I'm sure we'll have a few more photos to share. So I know they're out there, and I know people have a lot of us, all of us. I know that. So they're gonna start to surface.
Looking forward to more episodes and more seasons. You guys are doing great.
Oh, thank you so much. And sorry, John, you want to say one thing? Are you okay?
No. Yeah, it's been kind of a trip for the last the whole the COVID stuff, and it's been kind of a laugh, right? So whoever watches and joins in, it's not cool. So hopefully this is being as much fun for them as it has been for us.
Yeah. I like I said, I mean, one more shout out. 400 subscribers.
Yeah.
This is for you, the fans. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for being a part of our channel. Thank you for being a part of the podcast. I mean, yeah, this is fun when we have the support and our friends are here, and we get to meet all these new people as well. And I think that's what makes things so exciting. So I've met so many new people over like the last year and a half. So, to be able to do this and to kind of reconnect with everyone as well, right? Because John, I haven't seen you in years, and Michelle, same, right?
Mhm.
Now Nicole, like just to get us all together in like one platform like this, I think it's really cool. So
Well, yeah, we probably all haven't been in the actual same room together since like 2002.
yeah,
Probably.
That's probably accurate. Yeah.
Right?
And I mean, shout out goes to Jay for that, right? Like Jay's the reason that this all has happened. So, yeah.
Can you imagine if we all worked in a casino together right now? Jeez,
So much fun.
All stars, right?
I'd be wandering off. I'd be wandering off aimlessly, and he'd be like, "Where's he gone? He took the stick with him. Where's he going?" I'm like, just,
La la la.
he's just wandered off. I would just do it for the joke, to be honest. I'd be like, "Come back! He's not even working today. What is he doing here?" I don't know. He just took me off the pitch stick, and he just walked off.
It's
See it.
Yeah, John, it's like your Wi-Fi is actually perfectly fine. You're just the one kind of glitching around right now.
Exactly.
Real life.
Yeah, one of these days you'll realize that I'm just goofing around, right?
Oh my God. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us this wonderful Wednesday evening. And thank you all to all the viewers and the listeners for listening to our season. So everyone take care, and we'll see you in the next one.
You too.
See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Take
Take care.
care. Nice.
Bye.